Water is at the center of the Sustainable Development Goals. I remember, Yvonne, at our first commission meeting, you told us all that as mayor, you witnessed the fact that many, young women get raped on their way to fetch water. So gender parity, SDG 5, is related to water. All of them are. But so what does that mean for the SDG Summit in September? I think that's important. Dr. Ngozi talked about the need for a UN water envoy. That's one of our recommendations. But also the modeling that we've offered, I think, is quite radical. So one of the co-chairs is Johan Rockstrom from the Potsdam Institute, and he's really shown us through really rigorous modeling that deforestation on one continent is actually causing droughts in another. Overly intense crop irrigation in one part of the world is causing flooding in another. So that kind of systemic nature of the problem requires systemic and collective action, and that again is where we're trying to also bring the tools for that at the center of the contracts between all these different actors. So the conditionalities, the new forms of partnerships, the new ways to think of property rights. We haven't talked about that yet, but the governance of this means that ownership structures need to be much more collective if we're interested in equity and inclusive outcomes. And I think one thing that Dr. Ngozi said, which should absolutely happen, is that we need to repurpose these subsidies towards the transformation that's required. There's so much innovation. That's why we talk about the outcomes-oriented, mission-oriented need for innovation. Going to the moon and back required innovation, not just in aerospace, but nutrition, materials, electronics, software. The same is true for all the different sectors in our economy if water is at the center of a mission-oriented system.